I honestly still can't wrap my head around how insane this was. One moment I'm walking through the airport in my dress blues after a year overseas. My wife is holding our toddler's hand. My mom is wiping her eyes because she finally gets to hug me again. And the next moment, some stranger in a neon visor with peak HOA president vibes is shrieking that I'm a stolen valor scammer loud enough for the whole terminal to echo. My flight had just touched down at DFW. I'd spent 12 straight months in Kuwait. No R&R, barely any sleep in the last 72 hours. And all I wanted was to go home, hug my kid, and eat something that wasn't an MRE. I was still in uniform because I didn't have a chance to change on the plane. Plus, my family wanted to see me in it once more before I finally switched back to civilian clothes. We're standing at baggage claim when it begins. This woman, late 50s, bleached hair, Louis Vuitton carry-on, and a lanyard that literally reads Lakeview Estates HOA President, storms straight toward me like she's on some divine mission. She shoves her phone in my face, already recording, and shouts, "Everyone look at this!" This man is impersonating a U.S. Army officer. Those ribbons are wrong, and that badge is fake. My wife freezes. My mom gasps. My 3-year-old starts crying because some stranger is yelling at his dad. I try to stay composed. I've had Taliban fire coming my way. I can deal with one furious Karen. So I tell her, "Ma'am, I'm active duty. Just returned from deployment." She laughs. Actually laughs. And turns to the growing audience. That's exactly what they all say. I've seen the videos. My husband was a Marine for 20 years. He taught me how to spot phonies. This man is a disgrace. People are filming now. Whispering. A teenager mutters, "World War II at Carousel 4. Security is walking over, but slowly, because nobody can tell if this is real or some TikTok stunt. She keeps going. "I'm calling real military police right now. You're going to jail for stolen valor. Hope they lock you up forever." My face burns. 12 months of sandstorms, rockets, and missing my son's first steps. And now I'm being publicly dragged in front of my own family because this lady thinks my ribbons don't match her Pinterest knowledge. My wife tries pulling me away, but Karen physically blocks us and screams, "Don't let him leave. He's a criminal." That's when twist number 1 happens. A TSA agent who'd been watching steps in and quietly asks to see my CAT card. I hand it over. He scans it, checks his screen, then looks at Karen like she's absolutely lost it. He gives it back and says, "Ma'am, this is Captain, redacted." He's legitimate. "Please step aside." Karen doesn't budge. She snatches my CAT card right out of my hand before I can react, holds it up to her phone like she's CSI, and declares, "This is totally photoshopped. Look at the hologram. It's not even shiny." The crowd is loving the chaos. Someone yells, "Get him." At this point, I'm done being nice. I step forward and say, "Give me my military ID. Now." She smirks and slips it straight into her bra. Actually puts an I in there. "Come and get it, faker." My mom is crying. My son is screaming, "Daddy." And my wife looks like she's 2 seconds away from swinging. Security finally radios airport police. But before they even show up, something absolutely wild happens. Cutting through the noise, I hear boots. Real military boots, moving fast, coordinated, in perfect rhythm. For soldiers in uniform round the corner at a full sprint, eyes locked directly on me. The one in front is wearing silver oak leaves, a lieutenant colonel. Behind him are 2 more officers and a sergeant major stacked with so many stripes I can't even count them in the blur. The entire terminal freezes. The lieutenant colonel stops less than 2 feet from me, snaps the cleanest salute I've ever seen, and booms, "Captain, redacted. Welcome home, sir." He adds, "The base commander sends his regards and requests the honor of greeting you personally." Karen's face goes sheet white. My CAT card is still sitting half visible, poking out her bra like an accidental white flag. The salute hasn't even lowered yet when the automatic doors behind them slide open again. This time, it's him, the base commander himself. 2 silver stars shining under the airport lights, flanked by 6 additional soldiers and what looks like an entire honor detail, carrying a folded flag and a wooden presentation box. Karen's jaw opens, shuts, then opens again. The cat card is slowly sliding south from sheer panic sweat. The general, yes, an actual 2-star major general, walks right past her like she's part of the carpet and stops in front of me. He salutes first, which is insane because I'm only a captain. Then he grips my hand in both of his and says loudly enough for every recording phone to catch it, "Son, Fort Hood has waited 12 months to welcome you home. Your convoy strike in Al Anbar saved 32 American lives. We don't forget." My knees almost buckle. My wife is sobbing openly. My mom has both hands over her face. Karen tries to slide backward into the crowd, but the sergeant major, a refrigerator-shaped man with a handlebar mustache, steps sideways and blocks her accidentally. She's stuck. The general turns to the expanding ring of bystanders and raises his voice. This officer earned the Silver Star last month. The citation hasn't been released yet because his family needed to be notified first, today. He nods to an aide who opens a presentation box. Inside sits the real Silver Star medal, gleaming beside a folded American flag that apparently flew over the base the day I was hit. The general pins the medal onto my uniform himself. Right there at Baggage Carousel 7, while travelers erupt into applause so loud it echoes off the ceiling. Phones everywhere. Live streams already blowing up. Karen is shrinking by the second. Her neon visor is drooping like wet cardboard. She tries one last pathetic attempt. This is insane. I was defending the integrity of a uniform. The general doesn't even spare her a glance yet. Instead, he gestures at the honor guard. They snap into formation, face me, and execute a full 19-gun salute with M4S aimed skyward. Blanks, of course, but the pops still make half the terminal flinch. Only then does the general turn toward Karen. "Ma'am, you are currently in possession of a federal military identification card. That is a felony offense." The airport cop who finally arrived adds, "She also publicly accused a Purple Heart vet at Disney World of faking his prosthetic leg to skip lines. Disney banned her for life." He scrolls and shows the general old viral videos. "And she once tried to get a Navy SEAL kicked off a flight for sitting in first class. He was traveling Space A on orders." The general's smile vanishes. He turns back to me. "Captain, what would you like to do?" I'm exhausted, furious, and mentally done. For a second I almost say, "Arrest her." But my son is still latched onto my leg, shaken from the noise. I look at him, then at my wife, who's given me to remember who you are. Look. I breathe out. "General, I just want to go home." But I want her to feel this moment the way I just felt it. The general gives one slow nod. He faces the honor guard. Sergeant Major, front and center. The largest human being I've ever witnessed steps forward, stops an inch from Karen, and unleashes the loudest, most parade ground perfect. Ground perfect dressing down in recorded history. Every word lands like a detonation. "Ma'am, you have disgraced the uniform, the flag, and every service member who ever wore it. You do not speak for us. You do not question us. And you absolutely do not lay hands on what we bleed to defend. Apologize. Now." Karen is melting, mascara turning into black waterfalls. The whole terminal is silent except for her messy, hiccuping sobs. She finally croaks, I'm sorry. I was wrong." The sergeant major doesn't even blink. Louder, like you meant it when you were hollering 2 minutes ago. She practically shrieks, "I'm sorry. I was wrong. You're a real hero." The general gives a single approving nod. "Good. Now you're going to stand exactly where you are while this officer and his family walk out. You move 1 inch before they're gone, and the FBI will have a very different kind of talk with you." My family and I begin heading toward the exit. The entire honor guard forms up behind us like we're royalty being escorted to a coronation. People are moving aside like we're parting the Red Sea, still applauding. A few saluting even though they've clearly never served a day. We're almost at the doors when Karen makes her final, catastrophic error. She shouts after us, "This is cancel culture. You'll all regret this when I SUE." The general's voice slices through the air. "Ma'am, you just threatened a federal officer on video after committing a felony. Congratulations. You're about to go viral for all the wrong reasons." I don't turn around. I can't. I'm too close to losing control. But just before the door slides shut behind us, I hear the sergeant major's perfectly calm Texas drawl. Ma'am, remove your hands from your pockets and assume the position. You're coming with us. We're already in the parking garage, honor guard still flanking us like a presidential detail, when my phone starts exploding. My little sister, who's been glued to the live streams, sends me a link with 17 screaming emojis. I tap it. The top trending topic across every platform is already hashtag Airport Karen versus hashtag Silver Star Captain. The footage is everywhere. Karen grabbing my CAC card, the general pinning the medal, the sergeant major reducing her to tears in glorious 4K. The comments? Brutal. Someone has already posted her full name, address, HOA Facebook group, and even her Etsy store that sells Support Our Troops wine glasses. Irony levels. Fatal. By the time we reach my mom's minivan, the base public affairs officer is calling me. Sir, with your approval, the Secretary of the Army would like to release your full citation tonight. The White House saw the video. They're requesting you and your family in D.C. next week. I'm still trying to absorb that when my wife's phone buzzes. It's our neighborhood group chat. Lakeview Estates, the same HOA Karen ruled like a tyrant. The board just posted an emergency announcement. Effective immediately, Cynthia Whitmore has been removed as HOA president for violating community standards. A full investigation is underway for misuse of funds. Wait, misuse of funds? And then the bomb hits. Turns out Karen wasn't even supposed to be at DFW. She had just flown back from a so-called HOA leadership conference in Vegas, paid entirely with the neighborhood landscaping budget. Someone leaked the receipts in the Facebook group. $7,400 on bottle service, a $2,200 Bellagio suite, and photos of her in that same neon visor pose with male dancers, captioned, "Supporting our troops my own way." The same woman who accused me of stolen valor spent Veterans Day weekend getting lap dances funded by widows of vets who live on our street. The group chat detonates. Neighbors who've been terrified of her for years start posting years' worth of screenshots. The $500 fine for an American flag that was 2 inches too large. The $200 fine for a kid's lemonade stand. The time she tried to ban military stickers on cars because she said they lower property value. Within 30 minutes, the HOA board resigns out of pure embarrassment. By the time we turn into our driveway, a local news chopper is already circling. I barely step out when neighbors, people who used to hide when Karen drove past, run toward us waving homemade signs. Welcome home, Captain. Thank you for your service. Someone set up a folding table with Whataburger, sweet tea, and a giant sheet cake that reads Karen who? My son is smearing icing across his face, laughing harder than he is all day. And then the final nuke drops. The general calls me personally. Captain, slight change of plans. The Army doesn't just want to invite you to D.C. We want to fly your whole family, first class, all expenses, and put you up at Blair House. The president wants to award you the Silver Star on the South Lawn, live on national television next Friday. And one more thing. He pauses, trying not to laugh. Cynthia Whitmore is currently in airport holding with federal marshals. She hired a lawyer, but he quit live on TV after seeing the Vegas receipts. The U.S. attorney is charging her with theft of government property, your CAC, wire fraud for the HOA money, and filing a false police report. She's looking at real prison time. I ask the only question that matters. General, can my family just have one quiet night at home first? He chuckles. Son, after what the internet just did to that woman, you can have the quietest night in Texas. No one's ever messing with you again. He wasn't lying. The next morning, I wake up to absolute peace. No HOA emails. No petty threats. Just the sound of my son giggling in the yard and my wife making coffee. I step outside in my PT shorts and see something that hits me right in the chest. Every single mailbox on our street now has a tiny American flag sticker. Someone stayed up all night placing them. And on the house with the once perfect lawn and the gold-lettered "No Soliciting" sign, Karen's old house, there's a moving truck. The new owners are already tearing out her precious petunia border to plant bluebonnets. I checked my phone one last time. All of Karen's accounts, Facebook, Instagram, Nextdoor, are gone. Wiped clean. The only thing still up is a GoFundMe titled Send Airport Karen to Military Prison that's already hit $87,000 for the troops. I put my phone away, scoop up my son, and stand there in the sunlight. 12 months in the desert, rockets overhead, friends I'll never see again. And somehow the happiest day of my life was the day a Karen chose the wrong soldier to harass. To every one of you watching, if you ever see someone in uniform, just say, thank you. You have no idea what they've lived through. And trust me, you do not want to be the person who finds out the hard way. Welcome home. And if you like this story, hit that subscribe button. Every new subscriber helps me bring you more wild, dramatic HOA tales. Tap the bell so you never miss a new episode. I'll see you in the next one, where justice hits even harder.